to be chatting through the first steps in starting your coaching business, because this is a question that we've had asked so much over on the community, and I wanted to ensure that although we are running some really exciting training this week, which you can also find in my profile, or if you're on Facebook in the notes, we are doing the Start Your Coaching Business training this week, which is super exciting. But I just wanted to break down a little bit basically what we're chatting about in there, and also give you some actionable tips that you can implement as well. So as always, I'm Rebecca Lockwood, your neuro-linguistic programming trainer, hypnosis trainer, and breakthrough coach trainer. And we're going to be diving into the first steps in starting your coaching business. So the first thing is to make sure that you've got the right training. Right? Sounds obvious, doesn't it? But it's one that's missed so much, because people go into this industry thinking, yes, I want to be a coach. Yes, I want to support people. Some people go into it without any training, and some people go into it not really understanding what kind of things they need to look for in the training, right? So the first thing is to make sure that you have the right coach training. So the kind of things that you should be looking for are making sure that the training covers all learning styles, for example, right? And unfortunately, what can happen is you're sometimes not even taught about learning styles, right? And communication styles. Now, to give you an example of this, within our neuro-linguistic programming and breakthrough coaching course, which you can find in the details of this video, we make sure that you are supported no matter what your learning style is. So firstly, I'll teach you about what learning styles are, what learning styles means, what communicating styles are, and how to identify what people's preferred method of communication is and preferred method of learning is. And within that, we also make sure that you are learning in your preferred method, right? So we, for example, give you some notebooks, right? So if you're a kinesthetic learner, for example, you may want to hold stuff, right? Be able to use a booklet, and we send you out packages. If you are an auditory learner, which means you might want to just listen in, and you might learn best by listening, you need to be able to listen in, right, and hear the training. And you'd be surprised how many companies offer training where it's just written booklets and there's nothing else. It's very common. So if you are, for example, a learner that likes to listen, we've got auditory. If you're a learner that likes to visually learn, you've got videos within our training, we send stuff out to you. And if you're a learner that likes kinesthetic, which means you like to have something to hold, something to feel as well, then you've also got booklets as well. So when you're looking for your training, just ensure that all of them things are covered, and that it covers all learning styles, okay? So within our course, I teach you about learning styles, what learning styles even are, what communication styles are, and how to use this in your business as a coach as well. You should also look for what kind of support you're getting within the training. This week, I've had so many messages from, not from our students, from coaches who have done training with other companies, and they've said to me, I can't believe how I didn't realise that I don't get ongoing support, and I don't get the kind of support that you offer within your programme. And to give you an example, within our neuro-linguistic programming and breakthrough coaching programme, we do a weekly session. In fact, we do 2 live weekly sessions, and we have students joining them weekly sessions who graduated with us last year. We have students who graduated last week, who graduated last month, who are ongoing, who are going through the programme. So we offer ongoing support, because if, for example, you are coaching, and we have some of our students who work with young and vulnerable people, so not only are they working with young people, they're also working with young vulnerable people, and they may have presenting problems that they don't quite they do understand, but they're just not quite sure exactly what to use with them coaching clients. And so they come to the sessions, or they come to the Facebook group, they come to the supportive community, and they've got the capacity to ask them questions and get the support that they need. And there's no deadline to that, right? There's no deadline. It's ongoing. As I said, we've had students who graduated last year who still come to us and ask for support. So when you're looking for your training, just make sure it includes them kinds of things. I would much prefer to support you for the next 5 years and know that you're getting the support that you need, than send you off on your way, because that's often what happens. So also look at the feedback and the testimonials that the students have got previously, right? This is really important because that will tell you the story and give you ideas and the kind of results that you can get in your own business, but also the kind of results that, that people have got as they've gone through the program. So always have a look at the testimonials and the feedback from people that have been there before you. Okay, so number 2, understand who your customer is, right? So when we're looking at the first steps in starting your coaching business, the first thing is to make sure you've got the right coach training. The second thing is to understand who your customer is. Now, it's okay when you first start for you to not know this, right? Because you're just starting, perhaps you're not quite sure what kind of coach you want to be, you want to help people change their lives, but you're just not quite sure how, right? And in what kind of niche is probably the buzzword for it, right? What kind of niche? So what we can do in this case is we can look at when we're going through our coach training, we can get loads of practice clients, right? So when you go through our program, we partner up with the students. So you practice with the students, you use the techniques, you implement them as you are learning them. And just the act of doing that alone will help you understand what you enjoy doing, what you enjoy helping people with, what maybe you're not quite so keen on, the kind of things that you want to do more of, and also the kind of things that you maybe not want to do more of. And you may know how to help people with that, but you just don't necessarily want to help people with that. So when you get practice clients, it'll really help you to understand what you want to help people with, how you can help them, but also you can ask for testimonials and feedback from these people as well. So when our students are partnered up and they're practicing, I always say, make sure you get feedback once you've completed it, because you are getting a result for that individual, right? They are getting a result, they're getting an outcome, they're getting a transformation through the practice sessions. So make sure you get testimonials and feedback from the people that you're practicing with as well. Do the research, right? Do the research on your customer. Ask them, even when you're doing practice sessions, speak to them, have conversations with them. Always be curious about your customer, what they want, who they are, what they think their problem is, what they think the solution is to their problem, and how they think they're going to get the result that they want to get. When you know this, we can then move on to number 3. Consistently create content that answers your customers' questions, and ask yourself, what does someone need to know before they'll work with me, right? Is there something that you need to educate them on before they'll work with you? So for example, some people may not understand what anxiety is properly, right? You might work with people and help them with anxiety. So would there be something around that, around understanding anxiety, where it comes from, why we feel anxious? Maybe they need educating on that kind of thing before they know that working with a coach is going to support them to help with them with anxiety, for example, right? So firstly, consistently create, this is number 3, but first part of number 3, consistently create content that answers their questions. So always, like, for example, this video, we've had so many people asking me, what are the first steps in starting my coaching business? So I'm creating a video that answers that question. And then second part of number 3 is ask yourself, what does someone need to know before they work with me? And is there something that you can do to educate them on understanding aspects of what you do and how you can help them before they'll take the next steps? Number 4, make sure you have a call to action. Call to action. Make sure you have a call to action on your content, right? So every single piece of content that you're creating, when you are consistently creating this content, make sure that there is a call to action. So a call to action could be, for example, booking a call to have a chat about how we could work together. Or it could even be, a free 20-minute coaching session to understand how our relationship would happen, or a free breakthrough session to understand and help you get rid of your problem, right? So the call to action needs to be something that takes that next step with you to continue the conversation, really, and then have the conversation about how you could work with your client. Okay, so that was it. I know I speak really fast in these sessions, but I like to give as much support as I can so that's actionable and that you can implement as quickly as possible. Our doors are open with some extra epic bonuses for this week in our neuro-linguistic programming and breakthrough coaching course. So if you're on Facebook, you'll be able to find it in the description. I hope I'm pointing in the right direction. And if you're on Instagram, then you can find the link to the course and the details in our bio. Literally, when you sign up with us today, your package will be sent out in the post. You'll have all of the amazing materials out in the post to get started immediately. And you also get immediate access to the full course. So as soon as you sign up, you start immediately. We've got a group session starting very soon, and you get access to the full course straight away. Your package will be in the post with you. Literally, if you signed up today, it would drop on your lap by tomorrow. And I'm going to hop out now because I've noticed that my call at 3 p.m. is also live on this session with me. So I'm going to hop out. I hope that was helpful. If you've got any other questions, or you want to know anything else about the first steps in starting your coaching business, or if you want to have a chat through our neuro-linguistic programming training and breakthrough coaching course, just pop me a message and ask any questions. So have an amazing day, and hopefully I'll have a chat with you about what's included in our neuro-linguistic programming course, and your package will be popped out in the post today.